So come up here and stand with me. I'm Cauldierre McKay, a junior at Providence Student Union. As many of you may know, we want to end a wide and new high state sense graduation requirement. I'm here today to give you our alternative. Over the summer, members of the PSU made a student bill of rights that includes what we believe students need in order to reach high standards and be successful in education. Here are some highlights. We need equal and adequate funding for schools across the districts. We need student representation in school decisions. We need adequate school buildings. All of our schools should look and feel like places where we can feel safe and comfortable, and where we don't have to worry about cockroaches or leaky cylinders. We believe having mutual respect between teacher and student is a necessity. That can only happen when teachers are allowed the flexibility to focus on students' interests. We need a curriculum that addresses the material and cultural needs of our communities, and that is relevant and stimulating. You make the lesson engaging, we will want to learn. All students need free public transportation. I know kids who do not come to school when it's cold because their parents won't let them walk in freezing weather. We need a lot of electives and college prep courses. There are NECAP prep courses that are schools are advertising now, but why is there not a large emphasis on college in the Bible? We also need a real arts education. Visual arts, music, dance, drama, poetry, technology. Students should have a say in school discipline, as seen by the restorative justice system that PSU members at Hope High School have established with our student journey. We need a full-time nurse at all schools. We need free student health care. We need internship opportunities and career experience. And we need a variety of sports and extracurricular opportunities. When we have all of these, then we can talk. When y'all, the Board of Education, the leaders at RIDE, the administrators of our districts and schools, policymakers at the General Assembly, have offered us the high quality education we need and have prepared us to meet the high standards that we deserve, then maybe we can sit down and have a conversation about high stakes tests over a cup of coffee. But until there's accountability for y'all, do not pretend like you're on the moral high ground by demanding accountability for the thousands of rollout students whom this system has failed. Thank you.
Thank you. We're at 24 minutes, so you can clap or we can listen. Go right ahead, Monique Taylor.
Thank you. I'm a junior at Central High School, and I take NECAP and scored 3 on the reading and the writing and 1 on the math. As you know, students have to score a 2 on all sections in order to graduate. So I am right now at a risk of not receiving a diploma. A diploma I have worked so hard for. I am part of the Providence Student Union, and we believe that the NECAP shouldn't be a graduation requirement. The NECAP isn't a good measure of everything students have learned and accomplished from elementary school until the end of high school. And unfortunately, this policy causes teachers to teach to the test. I want to explain why this is a bad thing. The schools are scared that students won't be able to graduate, so they tell every teacher to prepare the students for the test. For example, there is an activity called a Do Now, which is supposed to be a question based on the subject of the class from the previous day that we spend 5 minutes or so to complete this task. Now the teachers are assigned to make it a NECAP Do Now, also known as a Bell Ringer. We do NECAP prep all the time, and we miss out on other important learning skills. This NECAP test is narrowing down our curriculum. For those of us who scored a 1 on the math, every class we take now is about preparing students for the NECAP. There are some classes that are not supposed to teach math that are teaching it. We do math in art class and even gym. This is not a well-rounded education. Students need to know every subject possible. The NECAP test doesn't have history in it at all, so things like history are treated like they are not important. The NECAP and all the time we spend prepping for it is wasting students' time. We are not saying that students are lazy, but some students have part-time jobs. Also, students have homework to do. Adults don't understand that high school students have responsibilities as much as adults do, if not more. We need to be thinking about college and internships and learning our senior year classes, not cramming for a test. Finally, I want you to know that high school now has a block schedule. We have 4 classes for 2 quarters and 4 different classes for the other 2 quarters. What if a student doesn't have math for the first 2 quarters?
Thank you, Monique. Yvette Gonzalez.
Okay.
I'm Yvette Gonzalez, and I'm a freshman at Mount Pleasant High School. I'm here to say that this test doesn't measure all our educational abilities. It doesn't measure everything about us. We always hear from adults that a physical appearance doesn't measure our personalities. Our one factor doesn't make up who we are as students, who we are as people, yet the Board of Education and RIDE is proposing that this one test be used to measure our entire educational capability. All the time, students are told that bullying is wrong because physical appearance is only one aspect of a person, and we shouldn't use it to judge other personality traits. But Ryan is bullying us into thinking that one test determines all of our educational ability and academic strengths. Also, Ryan is using the result of this test to limit our potential opportunity. Personally, I'm very strong academically. I work extremely hard to be the best I can be, not only in school, but in all aspects of my life. However, I get very nervous when it comes to high-stakes tests, just as NECAP. So the fact that this test determines my entire future belittles me. I have a friend, he's an amazing artist. How does this test measure his ability to create visual masterpieces? What are you going to tell him? If he can't pass this test, he's not going to be able to be a professional artist? The Providence Student Union organized an event where dozens of accomplished students, adults, didn't score high enough on a set of sample math and NECAP questions to graduate under this policy. We know that people who fail this test have strengths and abilities that allow them to be successful that aren't measured by the results on this test. Same thing with us students. We all have talents, strengths, dreams, and abilities that separate us from each other. But how will all those factors be able to shine through on a test that measures only one capability? High school is where you find yourself. It's where you figure out who you are and who you want to be and how you're going to get there. You put your own what you love to do and make sure if that's what you want, you're going to work hard to get it. Then, so it's unfair to allow us to chase our dreams and make our lives what we want them to be, then stick us in a room and force us to take a test that we're not prepared for. In the end, if we don't meet the expectations that you have set for us, but haven't prepared us for, everything we've worked so hard for has been stolen from us. It's unjust to set requirements that don't illuminate all of our capabilities.
Thank you. It's time for two more speakers. Deja Jeter. Okay. Jinnelle Harrison.
Hi, my name is Jinnelle. I go to Mount Pleasant High School, and I'm going to start off with why graduating is important. Graduating is my first step, and this determines whether or not I can accomplish my goals in the future. Not just for me, but my fellow students. When we dream big, but the NECAP drags those dreams deep into the woods and shoots them dead. I'm going to tell you a brief story about my 18-year-old brother. He has dropped out of high school. Why, you may ask? Because of NECAP. Having ADHD and requiring an IEP hurt his learning abilities to take tests. The day he took the NECAP, he sat there and stared at the blank packet of judgment. This also affects me because I also have a problem with taking tests. I'm smarter than just one test score. There is more than one way that I can show my capability academically. I'm sure every student in the same predicament can agree. What we need is more time to focus on our schoolwork, not some test that crams our whole learning experience into 1 hour. What we need is for the Board of Education to take the graduation requirement away and let our dreams become reality. The PSU would love to meet with the Board of Education to discuss this issue. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And the last speaker, George Perry.
Hi, my name is George Perry. I'm a senior at Mount Pleasant High School and a member of the policy union. Here to discuss the new policy standardized testing as a requirement to graduate. The main point that I want to be with you today is that our schools are not preparing us for the NECAP test. They're not preparing us well enough for life at all. But for the most part, that is not the fault of us individual students. It's the fault of the whole system's incompetence, and this NECAP policy is punishing us for the system's mistakes. What do I mean by this? You're giving us a test that we're not prepared for. Some of the things on that test I know, I've seen it before and learned about it. But there are things on the test that in all the years I've been in school, I've never really seen. You're giving us mathematical equations that we have not studied before in class. Now, it may be a big problem that we have not seen these things before. It may be an issue that we need to solve. We may need to change our schools to make sure that we need to learn these things earlier. But given the fact that our schools have not thought of some of the things we love enough or not at all, it does not seem right to blame us and punish us as individual students if you're not giving us the help we need to succeed. You want to take this test and pass it, but you're not giving us the right tools and educational knowledge to pass this test. You're saying you want us to be successful and have opportunities, but you're taking away our opportunities to reach our goals after high school by making this test a barrier to graduation. That is not right, and I hope you all reconsider. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. That completes the public I'm reminding everyone here that the board will give their full attention to the speakers, but do not engage speakers in conversation or answer any question from the speakers. Thank you very much. We'll go to the agenda item, report of the commissioners. I call on Commissioner Gist for a report on elementary and secondary education.